Hey, what's up my people? Jeremy here. I'm really excited about today's episode. We've got 3 great questions from 3 amazing teachers. Next Level Teaching, episode 3. Let's get it. Okay, our first question. What you got?
Hi Jeremy, this is Quinita Morrow and I teach high school marketing. And because I teach marketing, my question for you is, how do we get these teenagers to put down their cell phones, to put down social media and actually focus on their education? From their mindset, they feel that they can learn everything that they need to know through social media, when in fact social media has killed reality. But how do we instill that into our students where they value education just as much as they value social media?
Man, Miss Morrow, okay. So that's a good question. So I've got 2 answers for you in a sense. So if you're in school and you're in the classroom and you're finding that the students are having a hard time focusing and locking in with you because they're on their iPhone or they're doing social media, then you need to just shut that down. Like, you're gonna have to set guidelines and say, hey, when you're in my class, when you're in my marketing class or my history class or my biology class, when you're in my class, your cell phones are put away. You know, you gotta kind of lay down that law, or else here's the reality. You can't compete with Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. Like, you can't compete with YouTube and World Star Hip Hop. You can't do it. So you're gonna have to shut that thing down, because if they have the choice, you could be talking the best thing in the world, but if they can sit here on their phone, it's no competition. So I would say lay down the law early and say no cell phones in my class during class time, or you can do something different. The second part that I will give you, that second answer to your question, is maybe you can find ways to incorporate their phones and incorporate technology, because in 2018, you know what I'm saying, these kids is locked in with technology. So it's really a battle we don't want to have to fight. We want to pick and choose our battles. So if there's a way, and you progressive, you done had T.I. and all sorts of celebrities come to your class to talk about the power of marketing. So maybe we can find some ways where we can use technology in the classroom. But day to day, if it's becoming a distraction and the kids are having a hard time locking in with you because they phones, then you got to just mandate no phones in my class unless otherwise specified. That's what I would say do. And then when you can use the phones and they can lock in with it, then by all means have your way. But I think that if we can find ways to make the content relevant, if we can find more ways to make what we're teaching day to day, whatever it is, more relevant with the kids, we're gonna capture their attention. So when they sit in class and they go to their phone, they go into their phone because they feel like it's boring. They have a short attention span. They need things to move so fast paced. So as teachers, as educators, we've got to find more ways to engage these students so that we have their undivided attention, so that they get the knowledge that you're trying to give them. All right, thanks for all your work. Question number 2, what you got?
Okay, so my name is Brandon Lentz. I work at Luella High School. I teach CTAE, Public Safety and Forensics, and I teach all students in grades 9 through 12. So, Jeremy, my question is, how do we bridge the gap between my students in the classroom and the individuals in the community? Because I believe the community and schools, they work hand in hand. How do we build that positive relationship between all the stakeholders in the school and my community?
Hey, great question. Great question. So you want to know, how do I build relationships with people in the community, because they also have an influence on our students? I get it. It makes sense. Like, we've heard it before. It takes a village to raise a child. So it's like you got the teachers, you've got the parents, but then you have the community and people of influence, the stakeholders in the community. I love it. You know, so what I would say do, and I've seen it happen different ways in different cities and towns and states I've been in. There's a friend of mine in South Carolina, he's a pastor. What he did is he went to a local high school, met with the principal, and said, give me your top 5 students that you like 99.9% sure they're not gonna graduate. Literally, he went to this local pastor in South Carolina, went to the principal and said, give me your top 5 students that you pretty much sure, if nobody intervenes, they're not gonna graduate and they're gonna drop out of school. And this pastor, once a week, for 1 hour, either did lunch with them, took them to the movies, came and visited them at school, just hung out with them, just 1 hour, once a week. All 5 of those young guys, all 5 of those young African-American males end up graduating from high school. So it became like a phenomenon, and now other pastors are interested. I share that with you just to talk about the importance of community involvement, those stakeholders. So it might be local businesses, it might be mentors, it might be some local contractors or engineers, it might be some local business owners, it might be some clergy, some people in the community. It could be wide open. It might be parents that come to the school and volunteer. It might be you. Maybe you have some friends that you know that can come to class, that can visit, that can help, that can show support. There are different ways, but we've got to be creative, and we've got to find more ways when we can bring it in and let these kids know. It's not just me that care about you. It's not just your parents that care about you. You got a whole community that wants to help you go to that next level. The challenge is it's always 10% doing 90% of the work. And so I know it seems weird because sometimes y'all feel like I'm asking you to do more things, but that's what next level teaching is all about. You know what I'm saying? When you take it to the next level, when you go beyond just the curriculum. So I appreciate you and your heart, and I want to shout out every teacher out here that's not settling. For every teacher that's saying, man, how can I do more? How can we get more people involved? That's where the power is. So thank you for what you do. I would say find the people in your community who care, get them to show up, get them to create programs, get them to be more involved, because those are going to be the very things that's going to shift the lives of some of these students that we have in our schools and in our communities. So great question. Thanks for all you do. Question number 3, what you got?
Hey Jeremy, this is Valerie from Gwinnett County Public Schools. How might building administrators re-engage teachers so that they may ignite the passion for learning in their students as well as themselves?
Now we talking. That's a really great question. So what you're saying is similar to our last question that we had from our teacher. He was wondering, how can I get people in the community to be more involved, the stakeholders to have an impression upon these teachers and students? You're wondering, how can I get my teachers to be more involved and connect with the hearts of the students? And so that's a good question. So what I would say as an administrator, from the teachers that I've worked with, all right, don't cast a stone at me, but many of them feel like administrators, all they care about are the numbers, all they care about is the bottom line, all they care about is count day, all they care about is test scores. And a lot of times, many teachers that I've worked very closely with, they feel like there's no connection. You know, it's almost like you miss that human element. The same way some teachers struggle with connecting with the heart of students. Some teachers come to the classroom and it's all about curriculum and it's all about the lesson plan. And the students sitting there suffering on the inside and they need more emotional support. Well, it's the same way with your teachers. So the same way that teachers are specifically focused on the bottom line when it comes to the students and teaching, sometimes administrators oftentimes are focused on the bottom line of the curriculum and the teaching and the test scores, and then your teachers are suffering. Because your teachers are really saying the same thing the students are saying is, man, I'm hurting here. Man, I'm struggling here. Like, I've got issues at home with my wife and with my husband and with my kids and my finances and my health, and you sitting here jumping on, then I gotta deal with all these personalities. So what I would say do as an administrator is to really start connect with the hearts of your teachers and let them know, hey, I see you. Hey, I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. So yes, the bottom line is important. Yes, next level teaching we produce, but at the same time, you let them know I see you and I know it's not easy and I value you, and watch this, and I got your back. So what happens, Val, when you and the other principals start showing up in the class and you start volunteering? What happens when you start saying, you know what, on this lunch, you go and do whatever you want to do on lunch. I'll take your shift in the lunchroom, or I'll take your shift here in this specific period, or I'll help out here. I'll do bus duty. Like, you go do what you do and let me hold you down so that you can have some time to breathe. I think that's going to go a long way when it comes to the feelings and the emotions and the thoughts of your teachers. And we know what they're gonna start thinking? It's like, man, my principal, man, my AP, man, but the folks in the district office, they care about me. They see me. They understand what I'm going through. They didn't just get this high position and they feel like they know how it feels to be in the classroom, in the trenches with these kids every single day. So I would say speak life, pour into them, affirm them, pump them up. Meet them in the morning. Pick up some donuts and say, hey, you matter. You know what I'm saying? Make them speak words of affirmation. You affirm them, you pour into them. You know what I'm saying? Because they dealing with some heavy stuff on their own and they come to school to be heroes for these kids, but oftentimes they tired. But you have what it takes to pour into them. So you tap back into when you was a teacher, when you was in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade, when you was working the 10th, 11th grade, and what you needed, and you speak that into them and you watch them blossom and bloom and go to the next level. Listen, if you heard the common theme in this episode, it's about us working together. It's about us speaking life. It's about us using all the resources so that at the end of the day, it's the child, it's that student that grows and blossoms. You have what it takes. You're a hero. You know what I'm saying? Real heroes don't wear capes. You're a hero. Go out here and be amazing, and I'll see y'all next week. Hey, what's up my people? Look, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and check this out. I've got so many more in store for you. So subscribe and do me a favor. Please leave me a comment, an emoji, a thumbs up, something. Let me know you're feeling it. Me and my team put so much energy, time, and effort into it, and it's free for you. Just let me know you're feeling what we putting out here, and I'll see y'all real soon. Leave a comment. Peace.